Former DA Chief Whip James Selfe was described as someone who treated everyone fairly. Some of his former colleagues in Parliament across party lines spoke of how respectful he always was.
Honourable Selfe was one of the most respected and dignified member of the National Assembly. He was easily approachable, kind-hearted, and respected all of us, irrespective of our political affiliations. Honourable Selfe served as the Shadow Minister of Justice and Correctional Services, and whenever the DA threatens court in Parliament, we knew that Honourable Selfe would be the brains behind it.
The FF Plus hails Selfe as a hard-working MP with regard for others.
I came to know James as a member of Parliament who always treated everyone with respect, despite differences you could have had. James was a hard-working and dedicated member of Parliament. He always respected the decorum of a Parliament. He was loyal to his party, and that is an example of what a member of Parliament should be in South Africa.
The IFP and the ACDP highlighted his regard for the law and his knowledge of the justice and correctional system.
I had the profound pleasure of working with James Selfe from 1993 during the CODESA negotiations, and then we were privileged to serve in the Senate of the Republic of South Africa from 1994 onwards. James was one who respected and upheld the rule of law, and he believed that that was paramount if we needed to ensure that our democracy meant anything. He was an astute negotiator, as I experienced when we were talking about coalitions in local government, committed to South Africa, committed to his party, and committed to nation building.
James served in both the National Council of Provinces and the National Assembly since 1994 and played a key role in the drafting of the new constitution. Parliament has indeed lost one of the most hard-working and dedicated parliamentarians that I've had the honour of working with. As a member of the Justice and Correctional Services Portfolio Committee since 1999, I served with James on this committee for many years. His institutional knowledge and deep insight into the inner workings of the Department of Correctional Services ensured that he was unrivaled and very effective in holding both the ministry and department accountable. I will miss his friendship, wisdom, and humour dearly.
It is a great loss, not only for his family, but to the entire country. James Selfe was a hard worker, committed to his work in Parliament. I have worked with James Selfe for many years in the Portfolio Committee of Correctional Services, where I chaired the Portfolio Committee. I will never forget his contribution to the betterment of conditions at correctional services, not only for the inmates, but also for the correctional service officials. We have lost a humble, honest human being.
Selfe was a keen mentor who generously shared his knowledge and experience with younger MPs.
I had the kind privilege of working with James, and in all that time he showed incredible commitment to not only the Constitution of South Africa, but service to our nation. He became a close friend and an ally, someone I could rely on for sound advice, but also someone who was in the trenches fighting the lawfare. When we had cases against the government or anything, James Selfe was at the forefront of that and would at times give me the privilege to go and take the victories, whilst he was always happy to go and fight the losses. That speaks to the tribute of a person who was willing to serve without needing recognition. It is with absolute sadness when I heard of his passing, noting that it's been after a long illness. But I with all of that pain, know that his life's stature would be a life that has contributed immensely to this country. Generations will be grateful for the service that James has given to our nation. And ultimately, I really believe a great tree has fallen, but generations will sit under its shade.
Parties and former colleagues passed their condolences to Selfe's widow Sheila and their 3 daughters, as well as the DA. Abra Babia, SABC News, Parliament.